Boy, do I have a fun one for you today, guys. Today we're going to look at every business jet. I will say the ones that I'm not including are the only one I can think of, and I'm sure there might be one or two more, but the only one I can think of is the PC-24, because I've just heard terrible things about it, and I refuse to spend my human dollars on it. But we're going to be going through all the business jets. We're going to be going over the pros, the cons, the value. Here's the criteria I have. We're going to talk about the textures of each one. We're going to talk about the performance on your PC for each one, or Xbox, I guess, on certain ones. We're going to talk about the value of your dollar and if it's worth it. And then the last category I have written down here is stees with 3 Z's / funness. So that's going to be the mojo. That's going to be how enjoyable it is, how fulfilling it is to fly this plane. So, speaking of stees, we're starting off strong with the Learjet 3.5 Alpha from FlightSimware. I've had this plane forever. I got it in Alpha, or Beta, whatever it is, back in 2020. And as it sits today, there's a couple variants, but the plain Jane one is $40. I believe it's in the marketplace. And hold on, before we take off, we're going to launch off here, but I'm going to change my head tracking. Okay, that's right. Never mind. Alright, you guys ready? I'm just going to spawn on the runways, and we're going to go bananas. Now this thing right here is a freaking rocket. You'll see. It climbs like a lunatic. 80 knots, 100. Around 120 we rotate. I didn't set my trim or anything. I should have. Gear up. Flaps up. I mean, you'll see. This thing is literally a spaceship. That's just the Lear characteristics. That looks unnatural. But anyway, let's get somewhat leveled out here. We'll cruise around and I'll talk about it. So, for our first category, textures, I think the Lear is perfectly wonderful in textures. It is not outrageously texture rich or anything like the Phoenix per se, but there's never a time I look at it and I go, I wish that was better. As far as the internal goes, it looks great. It's a great jet. Yeah, these look fine. There's nothing to complain about there. Sorry. Exterior-wise, I'd say it's better than the interior. As far as exterior, you can just see the sort of every little thing is perfect on the exterior. I have nothing to complain about here. So both are great. But outdoor, outside-wise, this just gets better the more you look at it. So, nothing to complain about there. Performance-wise, this I have no problem running. Right now, I'm having stutters and issues because I just deleted my 60 gigabyte rolling cache file. So I was trying out the maps mod. I thought I'd give it another shot. It didn't really work out that well. But, performance is fine. Nothing wrong there at all. Now, if we look at value, $40 for this plane. That is a good bit of money for a flight sim plane. It's definitely not cheap, but at the same time, I think this offers plenty of value for that, without a doubt, without a question. I swear, every week I get a ping from Discord because they dropped an update for this plane. I've never seen and will never see devs that are so hell-bent on making sure that this is running as good as it can, that it has any little tiny minute bug fixed. That is a huge plus, and that's what your $40 is going to. So most certainly it's worth $40. Value, worth it. And the steez / funness of this plane You feel like a real bad A when you're flying this thing, dude. Especially when you land it, you plan it perfectly. Get your big fat tip tanks on the side. Uh, this plane absolutely gives you the satisfaction of doing something incredible with your time, if that makes sense. Some other planes don't. This one most certainly does. I'm a big steam gauge junkie, but I'm always going to throw a 750 in here if I can, because I like to cheat, okay? I enjoy the vibe of the steam gauge, but sometimes I just want a nice ILS. I can plug it in and go, and it'll do it. But it's still got its own quirks to it that you gotta know what you're doing. So it's a perfect balance. This thing's wonderful. I will say is make sure you set your pressurization, or else it's gonna yell at you. That's something that I was too lazy to watch a long tutorial on when I first got it. But anyway, comes with the tablet, everything. But that's it. I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd rate the Learjet 3.5 Alpha from FlySimware a solid 8.1, and that's pretty high. I'm kind of using the Dave Pizza sort of scale here, where I don't just give away high numbers. 8.1's very good. So use his scale for reference on what he calls, something that high. But anyway, next plane. All right, up next we have the Live to Air CJ3 Plus. Woo! I believe this is the newest addition to the business jet family, and I love this plane. Full disclosure, I messaged the dev when I saw he was making a 3 Plus, and I said, hey, can Budget Flight Sim have one? And he said, absolutely. And then he started telling me how handsome and cool I was, and like how much money I have, and how tall I am, and all the girls I get. And I was like, all right, Live to Air, relax. But anyway, I'm used to it. But he did give this to me for free, so he didn't pay me to say anything good. But this is a form of payment, I guess you could say. But so full disclosure. Anyway, let's look at our list here. We've got textures. The textures are good. They're not, again, they're not going to be Phoenix quality, but they're perfectly fine. And I feel like perfectly fine is even underplaying it a bit. Mind you, I'm playing in 4K, but I'm using DLSS, and I also have my texture resolution set to medium. So other people will get better results, but awesome cabin. And the thing with this cabin is they're very much like the Piaggio by Flight Effects, where it's just click spots out the wazoo of different fun stuff. And I'm sure if you've looked into it, you've already seen all this, but I have to mention it. You want some snacks? Put them on the table. I love that. You want a cup of coffee? Let's make you a cup. We gotta put the cup first, then we brew it. You need any first aid? Hopefully not. Alright, guys? Oh, your coffee's ready. Bam. Hold on. Thank you. I'll eat that. Stuff like that. You get my point. I love things like that. Because when you're up in cruise, it gives you something to do, man. Sorry, sometimes there's just not enough to do. So you end up having to do, other things when you could be eating fake food inside the jet. I love that. But textures on the inside are very good. I'm extremely happy with it. Textures on the outside are wonderful. Sun setting, by the way. Wonderful. Nothing to complain about. The wheels, they're perfectly fine. It's not the toppest quality of textures, but then again, it's not supposed to be. It's in line with everything. When I say it's not the toppest quality, I mean, it is not going to be, I keep using Phoenix as an example, but that's really the best example. Phoenix or, not PMDG, but, certain ones that just have ridiculous textures that are otherworldly and, mind you, oh gosh, we're going into the trees. Absolutely murder your PC. We'll get yaw damper on. We'll get our wheels up. But absolutely murder your PC. This runs very smooth. Speaking of performance, what was my other categories? Value. This one runs in at $27. Absolutely all day, every day, buy it. That's not because he gave it to me for free. I would tell you if it was a stinker. You know me, and if you don't, you finna. But seriously, 27 bucks, I think it's certainly worth it. And again, with the cabin very flight effectsy, you know, that's the best way I can think to describe it. Everything opens, moves. I mean, the textures right there are beautiful. Everything's fun. This is a great jet. And to get into steez slash funness, I have a blast flying this. And I honestly, it hand flies so well. I flew this earlier today, and I hand flew it up to like flight level 190. I was just having fun with it. And it was windy out. I was getting blown around, but this is a rewarding plane to hand fly. Certain ones just aren't. But I find that most of them, and you know, add-on planes in 2024, you know, are fairly fun to hand fly, but there's certain ones that just feel like they've got weight to them and that they actually are planes, and this is one of them. So I'm very happy with this plane, and it was everything I was hoping it would be. So definitely, if I had to give it on a scale, 7.2. That's a perfectly fine scale, or a perfectly fine rating, perfectly good rating rather. And I'm very happy with it. And I'm going to be doing a lot more videos, a lot more VAT sim stuff. I actually shot a suggestion to the dev, and he said he was going to put it in. So we're going to sit tight for that, and I'm going to brag about it as soon as he does. But absolutely fun jet. Oh, another little thing. I may be wrong, but this is the only plane, I think the iFly was the same way, where you can like adjust exactly where you want the shades. It's a small detail, but I love that. It's not just a click spot to make you go, oh, look, you can adjust the window. Shut up about it. It's like, no, where do you want your window? Oh, you want it right there? There you go. A couple more notches. Bing bong. There you are. I love that. Little things like that. You really do care. Next one. All right. Up next, we have the Longitude. Now, this can be bought in the marketplace, so I'm throwing it in. And this one, if we're starting off with textures, I would say it ranks very high in textures, surprisingly. Let me reset my camera here, it's driving me crazy. It ranks very high. It's very pretty. The textures look beautiful. Stunning, I might even say. So that's great. Internally, wonderful. And if you have the Longitude, you probably know what I'm about to say right now. Oh, let me get a good gear up shot. Hold on. No. There it is. Tap brakes. Gear up. Beautiful. But, big fat hairy butt on this next part. The external textures cannot make up their mind. Oh, we got some stuff flickering here. If you zoom out in any fashion, it loses all of its LOD. Everything disappears. The livery flickers. Anything bad that can happen with a plane happens with this plane that's been out for half a year now. And it does not seem to be at the top of anyone's list over at whatever it is, Working Title or Microsoft or whatever the F they actually are. I don't even know what it is. I think it's a company Microsoft hires to make these. They obviously don't give an S word about this plane at all. Let me turn my head tracking off. It's being choppy. And I just flew it and actually gave me the inspiration for this video. But let's take a little peek at this. What other plane in the entire history of flight sim has ever done that? I've never seen that. You zoom out and we get a square. There's the gear. How absolutely pathetic. And to charge me money for this, it's one thing if it's a default. If it's a default by all sort of standards of the, all versions of the game, I'm still going to grill you, but at least I didn't pay for it. 20 bucks for this, and you're charging for liveries? Go F yourself. They better not do this as well, because that's going to drive me insane. So, anyway, that's textures. Performance is usually perfectly fine and good, but I'm recording and all whatever. Thinking about the textures on the outside pisses me off. So, it performs fine. I never really have any issues with that when I do fly it. But, value, this is a tough one because, like I said, this is what made me kind of want to make this video. And flying it, even with its textures on the outside, I honestly had a blast. And I think it's because my dad flies a very similar jet that has this exact cockpit that I really want to enjoy this style of citation, plane. But it looks so good from the inside. It's very bare bones, not much system depth or anything like that. But I had a blast. So as far as value goes, it's 20 bucks. Sorry, my sim is really not liking the recording right now. That's why it's choppy, but it's a great VAT sim plane for this reason that everything is right here. The G5000, chef's kiss. It's wonderful. I love having my frequency here, my flight plan usually over here. I can change this in any way that I need to. Everything's right there. Bing bong, bam, boom. It's right there. Tune in departure 128.3. Bam, right there. I'm right there. I love it. And it works with the Honeycomb Bravo. So that's another thing I want to talk about. The Learjet, I don't think works with the Bravo. I don't remember, so don't take my word on that. CJ3 Plus certainly works with the Bravo. Longitude works with the Bravo, and we'll see what the next one works with. As far as as far as Steez and funness go, I have fun with this, but it doesn't really have a lot of Steez. Does that make sense? I don't know. It does have its own unique feel to it, though. Especially with taxiing, it's just, it kind of wants to topple over. Because it's a big, fat jet. It's got a huge gut, It's heavy, and you can feel it. So if we kill the autopilot, and again, I don't know why my system's being so bad right now, but it is. It feels fairly heavy. The flight model could probably be better, but then again, I've never flown a Longitude, so how might it know? But it's fun to fly. I enjoy hand flying it. It's fairly basic on hand flying. It doesn't really fight you. It's not very interesting. But anyway, Steez, none. Fun, sometimes. Next. All right. Next, we have the Cockspur C510. A little Mustang. Look how cute it is. This is, look how small it is in your default exterior camera. It's hilarious. This plane is essentially the Vision Jet with a little more balls, if that makes sense. And I say that just because the windows here are awesome. This is a 2020 plane, and as far as I know, it's not been updated fully for 24, but this thing is so fun. But I'll get into the drawbacks here in a second. Let's look at the textures on the inside. Not terrible at all. Nothing to write home about, but nothing to, get upset about either. I like the scratches and the wear on the table. Here's another one. You can choose exactly where it's at, but it is kind of ugly. But that's fine. The back wall looks pretty good. The seats look all right. Nothing I would complain about. So that's good. Let me dial in my view here. But anyway, let's try to take a do a takeoff here without my system bugging out. My PC has good days and it has bad days. Today is not a day it wants to cooperate. But textures are good. Exterior textures are wonderful as well. Nothing at all that, you know, makes me look at it and go, ugh. Everything works the way it should. Looks the way it should as well. It's a fun jet, man. This is not one you would... This would be a good VATSIM one. Well, in theory. Just because it's weird. It's a kooky little plane. I'd love to take it on VATSIM with everybody and their PMDGs. Me be on short final in this little Mustang. One cool thing I love about it, I wish other planes did better, it's the paper checklist. It's laminated, and it's just convincing. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I just love the way they have that there. Stow it away. That's great. It's not distracting. It's there if you need it. Anyway, the cons. Well, let's use my system here. Performance, perfectly great performance. Never have issues. Value, this thing comes in at $27. A little overpriced. I would put this jet at 15. You know, 27, if it gets a major overhaul for 24, this could easily be worth 27. But as it sits today, it's lacking in certain things, and maybe 15s too. I don't know, 15 sounds right. 15 sounds good to me. So, a little overpriced. It is fun, but it's not one you would necessarily have to have, at least in 24. In 2020, if you want it, go for it. If it's on sale, definitely get it. And if you pay 27 bucks for it, you're not getting ripped off. It's just fairly up there for a plane like this. Anyway, the one thing that I can't get over, so actually 27 is ridiculous now that I think of that, is trying to use this avionics suite is absolutely asinine. So, let me zoom out on the range here. You think, how hard can it be? It's basically like a G1000 kind of thing. I don't know what the official one's called, but let's say I want to go direct somewhere. We'll do direct. Of course, you got this sort of setup. You can type certain things, so if I want to see LT, Starlet, activate, oh yeah, I can't do that. It's such a hassle, because your controls are down here. I can't remember which one does what. That's on me, I guess, but let me hit enter. I can't see what I'm doing, you know what I mean? So that's one. Two, this whole thing here does not work. None of these letters work. These four up here work. The numbers do not work. The range works. These two work. Nothing else. So it's unfinished, and it's left that way. So now that I think about it, $27, go F yourself, my friend. You can't even put a keypad in there? That's ridiculous, and you should be embarrassed. But it's a cool jet, and I wish they did a better job on it. I love it. It's so pretty. It's goofy in a way. It's just a souped up twin-engine Vision jet. And I love the Vision jet, so I love little jets like this. But anyway, none of this is clickable. Actually, I think the toilet might be. Am I crazy? I was about to say, I feel like I remember that. So that's cool, I guess. Maybe make your buttons work first, but anyway. Value, depends on who you are, I guess. Steez and funness, it is fun. It's my guilty pleasure. I enjoy it. It is a very fun plane to land. It hand flies the way it looks. It's very agile. When you're on short final and you're fully configured, it wants to buck around. It wants to kind of move. You gotta pin it down and say, go here, glide slope. And it's like, alright, alright, alright. I was just kidding, boss. I'll do what you want. That's kind of the voice I picture with this. A little more pipsqueaky, if you know what I mean. But anyway, it is a fun jet to hand fly. It's fun on short final. It's a good one to grease. You feel good. So funness up there, steez up there. I never fly it because of the avionics. If they could retrofit a G3000 or 5000, I would be in heaven and I would fly this all the effing time. If there's somebody that can make a mod for that, I don't know how that works. But something to make this usable would be fantastic. The fact that it left the door like this is outrageous. So anyway, if I had to rate it, 5.9, and it loses all its points in this whole freaking nightmare. But the only reason it has points is because it's kind of cool. So anyway, let's go to the next. All right, up next, I know this isn't technically a jet, but it is even more capable than some of the jets on this list, and it is a business aircraft. It's getting included. Cry about it. We've got the Flight Effects Piaggio P180. Ooh! This plane is so kooky, and I love it. Just like the real-world version. It is a cool plane that'll make you turn your neck and go, holy cow, is that a Piaggio? It is so fun to fly in the sim. I'm not going to fly it right. We're just going to give it full beans and go bananas. This plane is such a fun flyer, if that makes sense. So I'm skipping to steez and funness right now, because I just got to tell you, this plane is a blast. And when you nail a freaking landing and approach in this thing, it is so satisfying. I don't know how to describe it. I should have rotated a while ago. Certain planes just have that factor to them, if that makes sense. I think I've got a gear one set up. We'll use this. Boink. Flaps up. This thing is so cool. Another full disclosure, Nick at Flight Effects gave me this plane. I love the trim sound. This was the first thing anyone's ever given me to do a video about on my channel. And it was Nick at Flight Effects, and he gave me this plane. So I still am so happy that he did that. That made me feel like $1 million. But anyway, I'm not gonna be biased in the sense that I love Flight Effects for that, and I love Nick over at Flight Effects for that. That's about it. As far as the product goes itself, the reason I reached out to him and wanted it is because I love Piaggios, and I've watched probably thousands of hours of YouTube videos of a certain somebody flying these things that just made me go, wow, those are cool. And then I heard they were coming out with one. I was like, no freaking way. And on top of that, I found out that every little thing opens up, moves, grooves, all that good stuff. You want a little, what's in here? Let's find out. Oh, towels, great. Every little thing you can find out about. While you're sitting in cruise up at flight level 390, up at 410, I can't remember what the ceiling is, but it's asinine how tall or how high this thing can go. It is a business jet. It goes so fast, it's so fun, it's just as efficient as any other jet. And man, it's a good time. And man, it's freaking cool. I'll tell you what, this gives me the same feeling as steam gauges give me, for whatever reason. Especially when you're not in the red and you're actually doing everything correctly. It is a fun plane to fly. It's got a perfect amount of startup procedure, but also not enough to make it a drag to fly where you're like, I have to go through the whole thing. No, I'm cold and dark in this baby every single time. I want to go through it. I want to hear those freaking props. Wow. Come to life, baby. This thing rocks. And it feel like it released with a good, reputation. Everyone liked it, but it didn't get as much coverage as I think it should have, man. I mean, it's just so well done. The texture on the door handles. The words are crisp. Crisp. That's insane to me. And it's just such a cool, unique plane that they did wonderful justice to. I don't know. Sorry to be crass, but it kind of pissed me off how little people talked about this plane. And including me. I should have made more videos on it, but I'm doing it now, okay? I love this thing. I've taken it on VATSIM. I do have a video of that, so go check that out if you care. This thing is the perfect amount of stuff to do. You're never bored. You're always adjusting things if you need to, looking at your props, looking at everything, your fuel, everything you need. And this thing hand flies amazing. And the way this one lands is unique. It has its own feel to it, its own sort of warble, not warble, but, you know, snip, snap, yin and yang, back and forth. It's got its own flight characteristics, I guess you would say. Where when you're on final, it's, I don't know how to describe it. I keep describing them the same, but they all kind of have that. This one is definitely unique, though. That's the difference there. A lot of them will feel fun to hand fly on, you know, when you're bringing it in, but this is one of the ones that's unique, and that's a hard thing to do apparently, because it's not very often you find one that's like that. So this one is amazing. Textures, perfect. Performance, I never have any issues with it, ever. It runs very well. Value is insane. This thing is 25 bucks. Mind you, the last one we just talked about, the Mustang, was 27. And for what you freaking get for 25 bucks with this thing, you know, don't take my word for it. Go watch other people's videos. Everyone's blown away by this. I don't think there's a negative one out there. There might be, but I don't know what they could possibly be talking about. You got your tablet, you got all your amenities and stuff like that. I don't want to get into it's a whole thing in and of itself. But look into this if you haven't already. I don't know how you haven't. Steez through the F wording roof, my friend. It's a Piaggio, dog. Funness, amazing. Final rating, 9.1. No. Yeah, no. 8.9. I remembered we're doing this sort of Dave's pizza scale. 8.9. That's a stellar score. So, absolutely, again, everything freaking moves. Look into it if you haven't already, because it's such a blast and it's very fun. So, or you're taking a poo? There you go. Enjoy your poo-poo. This thing rocks. Anyway, next plane. Alright. Next we have the classic CJ4, which I understand is default, and it's $0, but, you know, I thought I'd include in here. This plane I have a weird relationship with. I enjoy it. I think it looks beautiful. Well, I'll get into that. It's a fun plane, and it's free, so how can you complain? The performance in this plane eats dog S-word, dude. Like, my computer's already struggling. It's just because, like I said, I deleted my rolling cache, and I'm building it up while I'm recording in 1440, and I don't think my PC is very happy with that. But just in general, there's so many times I'll go to fly this plane, in 2024 specifically, it'll just blow my PC out. I don't understand it. And then other times, it flies completely normal. It flies like any other plane. I don't get it. This thing's weird. It looked good from the external view for a while, and then this started happening. Just like ropes or tie downs or something sticking off of it. So they're regressing somehow. And on top of that, they don't... it's so hard to find liveries for these business jets on flysim.to. They sure as F4 don't sell any CJ liveries in the store yet. So everyone at Xbox can go F yourself, is essentially what they're saying. They don't give a frig about you, my friend, at all. You're a dollar bill to them, and not even worth enough to pick up. off the ground. That's essentially what it feels like. So CJ4 could be so good, but it just is not. Um, and the performance is weird. Value's fine because it's free. Steez and funness. Steez is fairly low just because the issues, but funness, I'd say this is a fun plane. I have fun whenever it works, which is not often. But when it does work and I bring it in, kill the autopilot, yaw damper to go, kill that sucker, and I'm just hand flying it, I have a blast. But right now it's got me at 21 frames a second, which is lovely. Love that. Thanks, working title, or whoever the F word made this stupid plane. Let's go next. I think what we have next are the honorable mentions. Oh, no. The next category we have is business casual jets. So we just did business jets. Now we're going to do some business casual jets. Let's see what's next. All right. Oh, I love that message. All right. This one is a strange sort of category because the Vision Jet is free by default, but that's the Microsoft version. The one Microsoft has touched, should I say, completely ruined. Because if I get into it and I start talking about it, I'm going to get all worked up. But it's basically the issues that the CJ has times a billion. Everything flickers, every livery flickers in 2025. It doesn't make any sense to me. Have we figured out how computers work, guys? Flickering liveries? Oh, weird that you still choose to do that. That's interesting. So I'm already getting angry thinking about it. But we are in the 2020 version, the Flight Effects version, the one that works like a charm without any issues, the one that has my heart. It widowy has my heart. It's got a tablet somewhere down here. There it is. This one rocks. I'm gonna throw some bows on. Throw them on the dash. Nice. Throw them on. Put the noise reduction on. This thing rocks. I love this plane so much. Vision Jet's a classic. It's one of the first things, or the first plane I got from Flight Effects. Oh, I just forgot. I don't have the Honda Jet. Add that to the list. The PC-24 and the Honda Jet I don't have. I hear nothing but amazing things about the Honda Jet, and it looks stunning, textures-wise. The Vision Jet 2021, wonderful textures. Normally, it's in a rainstorm right now, but beautiful textures inside and out. I guess I could change that. This is a video game. Good live weather. Yeah. Wonderful textures. Wonderful experience this plane is. Love this thing. Look how beautiful. Look how beautiful. This thing is just a joy to fly. Vision Jet's solid. It's like it's like all reliable. Just hop in the Vision Jet and you'll have a good time. Guaranteed. Microsoft one can eat my human S word. I hate it. It pisses me off so bad. Anyway, textures, wonderful. Performance, fantastic. Value, completely worth it. I would still go back in 2020, buy this there, to get it imported into 2024 as a 2020 plane, and use that over the Microsoft one. That's how much I freaking hate the Microsoft one. Look at the textures on the little, whatever that's called. Beautiful. Hey, Flight Effects? Nick? Hey, this isn't flickering. What the heck? I thought Vision Jets were supposed to flicker constantly like a lunatic. Sorry, I'm gonna get crazy. Steez, out of this world. Funness, indescribable. I'm a big Vision Jet fan. Whenever I see them in real life, which I've seen maybe once or twice, it is an absolute treat, and I love them. I think they're so fun. Just the idea of a personal jet with one little engine on the top, that's cool to me. I have a big obsession with these, and I think for good reason. So, it's great. And what I paid for it in 2020 was, oh, I wrote free here. I can't remember what the 2020 Flight Effects version it was, but it's not too expensive. I know that. That's one thing Flight Effects will not do is overcharge for their stuff. If anything, they undercharge, but nobody tell them. But let's get on to the last plane here. Again, this is business casual category because it's not necessarily, I wouldn't call this a business jet. This is more of a, it's a pleasure jet. It's a business casual jet. You bring your coworker on when you guys are off work. That makes sense. Anyway, let's get to the last business casual jet. Okay, this is a kooky one, alright? This is a 2020 plane. I think they just brought it into 24, actually. But it says 2020 in the menu. Anyway, this thing is called the C-22J Vizola. I know nothing about it. I really would like to watch some real-world videos now that I'm thinking about it. This thing's weird, dude. It's a weird jet. It's a fun time. And it's appropriately priced for what it is. They want $10 for this. But I've seen it on sale. I think it's still on sale. I could be wrong. But if you're interested, I think it was on sale for $5. So, this is a weird jet. It's a real plane. I know I've looked that up before. Do a little launch. Look at that thing. This thing's kooky, and it flies so strange. The flaps are tied in with like your speed brake lever. It's a whole thing. It's a very strange, unique plane, but it's cool, dude. This is like just a fun. This thing's hard to land. I don't think I've had one like really good, solid landing in it. Now, that being said, I haven't tried that much, but it's $5, dude. Go bananas. It's a fun little tip tank, fun, weird jet. I love stuff like that. Look at the, what do you call it? Jet blast coming out the back. It's a cool looking plane, dude. It's so weird. Flying this in real life would be such a blast. It's like a little teardrop. It's a flying teardrop. Look at that. This thing's a good, oh, and I love the models they used. Super handsome. No, I just love that they look like normal dudes. I feel like everyone is either in a full-blown flight uniform or on like 90% of my 2020 planes, I'm just a chick. Like, okay, great. I think 0.3% of flight sim players are women. Not to be mean, but that's just a fact. There's a lot of women pilots, but not that many flight simmers. So why is every 2020 plane I'm a chick? I just want to be a dude with a t-shirt on. David Clark. Nailed it. I hope that continues in other planes, but I doubt it will. Anywho, this thing's fun. It's weird. It's kooky. It's $5. If it's not on sale, it's $10. Still worth it. It's a good time. And I can only imagine how hot this thing gets in real life. So, I'm going to edit this video. I'm going to put this up. And I'm going to go actually look at real world videos of this jet because it's absolutely insane. That being said, the textures are worth $5. What'd you expect? It's still fun. Still a great time. Value, it's fun. It's great value. Steez, I can't even possibly conceive of bringing this on VATSIM. I don't even know what it would show up as to other, people in the lobby. Because there's no way they have something in their library for this plane. So it'd probably show up as a Vision Jet or something stupid. But that would be funny. And funness, it's great. It's a good time. If I had to rate this for what it is and the price, I'd give it a 7.0, 7 flat. Because it's not something I'm ever going to seriously fly a lot. But it's kind of fun, and I love that it exists. So that's the pros and cons of all the business jets that I have. And I did leave a few off. If there's any more I left off, I'm sure you'll let me know. And maybe we'll make a part 2 with all of those together. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. That helps me out a whole bunch. I hate when people tell me to subscribe to something. But at the same time, if I'm enjoying a video and somebody's like, please subscribe, I will subscribe. And then there's other times that I'm like, don't tell me what to do. I'm a grown man. If I like it enough, I'll subscribe. So, anyway, I'm hoping to hit you on that former sort of vibe. Uh, yeah. God bless you. Thanks for watching. And have a great day or night, my friend. See you.